Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. We have defined ecology and also said something about the applications where to apply for the ecologist. Now, another aspect is definitely whether job is there or job is not there. So, in this case, today in this lecture, we are saying what kind of job would be available for ecologist. Ecology is a jack of all, master of none. This means it is very vast subject. You would know a little bit of everything, but maybe you are not master of anything. It invades many biological and other disciplines. It is also called everyday science. You can say this is general knowledge. Everything we do has some effect somewhere. Thus, ecology is always there in our life support system. It is not taught as a degree program, probably in any of the universities of Pakistan, but it is essentially a part of the curricula of the botany, zoology, chemistry, environmental sciences, geography, agriculture, and some other disciplines. So, some of the available jobs, briefly, we would just run through it. The first category is the academic jobs. This includes teaching position in the public and private sectors, school, college, universities with suitable degrees. Suitable degree, I mean required degree. Research position, yes. Research position in the private public sector are also available, including forest, agriculture, rangelands, NGOs, WWF, national parks, and other similar organization, PCSIR, etc. Manager national parks. In Pakistan, there are about 37 national parks, which besides its forest staff also need ecology expert to assess the population interaction of animals and their feeding and breeding requirement. Similarly, ecologists for parks in deserts and Himalayan or alpine regions need specialized ecologists. Zoo ecologist, this is another minor aspect. In zoos, ecologists are required because zoo are specialized units for competitive breeding of animals and birds with man-made environment. This is artificial environment. Rather, it's a captive environment. For this, a trained ecologist for zoo environment is required. Conservation officer, as we said in a previous study, conservation resources have to be conserved. So, conservation of resources in different ecological zones like tropical, desert, subtropical, wet, dry temperate, subalpine, alpine zones demand specialized ecologists with complete knowledge of environment and associated life in these zones. An ordinary forester cannot do this job because every ecological zone has its own ecological requirement, ecological setup, ecological animals, plants. So, one general person, a forester or a general simple ecologist would desert ecologist definitely cannot do a job in the alpine area. Alpine ecologist cannot do a job in the desert ecosystem. So different specialized person would be required. Wildlife or technician, a surveyor. Trained ecologists can survey, analyze, assess the population shift, migration, and habitats of specific birds, animals. The reproductive capacity, mortality, and nationality can be determined by ecologists. Ecologists can identify and solve the ecological problems prevailing in the area. Urban ecologist, planner, town planner. Ecologist is required before and after planning and designing a township, park, or other similar project. Ecologists can assess the projected requirement, keeping in mind the available space and ecology of the area. The sanitation, transport, markets, schools, masjids, and other similar requirements can be worked out in better way by an ecologist engineer. Ecologist will work as a town planner and designer. Most of the town planning becomes problematic within 4 to 5 years of the completion of the project due to lack of ecologist. Crop ecologist. Agriculture people do require it. Crop ecologists work with the agronomist for improving the crop yield by proper agronomic management. The requirement of crop species, germination, germinability, and survival of seedling for suitable crop stand is determined by ecologists. Use of suitable soils, seed variety, time of sowing, irrigation, and application of fertilizer, control of aphid, insect, termite is carried out in a better way by ecologists. The requirement vary from each crop and agroecological zone. Let me give you an example. Sometime I was frequently visiting the NARC, Islamabad, and I saw there, I met there foreign experts that the wheat scientist, wheat botanist, maize botanist, sugarcane botanist, all they were agriculture people, but they somehow specialized or knew something better than other about the wheat or the specific crop. Same as the ecologist. Environmental legal advisor. Ecologists know national standards, environmental rules, regulation, and laws with respect to conservation, hunting, resource utilization, pollution and control, etc. Therefore, he can act as a legal advisor better than ordinary lawyer. He can act and plead the legal cases in the court better than an armed ordinary lawyer. Wildlife manager. Trained ecologists can improve and manage the wildlife in forest, desert, river, oceans. However, a separate expert will be required for each of these habitats. Wildlife rehabilitation is important. Ecologists can work out population habitat facilities. Epidemic animal diseases are to be controlled. As I've said earlier, that a desert ecologist or a desert wildlife manager would be not suitable in an alpine area. A freshwater wildlife manager would not be suitable in a terrestrial area. So for each kind of ecosystem, you have to have its own wildlife manager. Natural resource manager. The role of natural resource manager is obvious to check the health of the ecosystem, its components, problems faced due to the physical abiotic factors, overhasting, overharvesting, overhunting, overgrazing, and deforestation are some of the problems area to be looked after. Reseeding, reforestation, afforestation is required. This can be done by the resource manager to improve the resources. Soil hydrologist, definitely this is a more active job for the soil scientist, but ecologist also knows more about soil and its relation to the crops, its relation to the forest. Ecologists acting as a hydrologist will monitor the soil moisture at a suitable level by maintaining water point in the area through proper techniques for wildlife and for at suitable points. Soil conservation officer, yes, again like the conservation, ecologists are well versed with the soil erosion by wind and water. Sites vulnerable to such destructive activities are to be maintained in a good condition by biological approaches. Suitable plants, grasses, shrubs need to be planted. Similarly, salted, saline, alkaline, and waterlogged areas need suitable plants for maintaining wildlife in the area. Such degraded areas are to be protected from deforestation and overgrazing. Waterlogged spots can be improved as hunting and fishing sites. Range management ecologist, again this is almost the same as I said, some 76% of the area of the Pakistan is designated as some kind of rangeland. Tropical rangeland, wetlands, the desert rangeland, alpine rangeland, so they are there. These rangelands occur in almost all parts of the country. Each ecosystem or each kind of rangeland has a different grazing animals and different grazing system. Therefore, experts will differ in each ecological zone. The range management or the manager will maintain suitable stock of herds based on the carrying capacity of each rangeland. The rangeland in Balochistan, the rangeland in the Thar, and their management is entirely different those in the temperate regions or those in the alpine regions. Alpine and desert rangeland mostly have sheep and goat, while camels are confined to the desert thorny rangeland. Cattle mostly prefer subtropical and temperate rangelands. Enclosure techniques, mixed animal, rotational grazing can help improve rangeland productivity at a primary and secondary level. Wildlife photographer or travel guide. Some government and NGO agencies hire the services of ecologist as a photographer and travel guide for visits from home and abroad. Visitors from home and abroad. This can be fascinating job as one gets photos, films of the beautiful places, wild animals, birds, animals during this job that he can be that can be sold within the country and outside. Some more avenues can also be searched for ecologists. But the bitter truth, तल्ख बातें, कड़वी बातें भी है. All these jobs are available. ये सारे jobs available है. लेकिन कैसे मिलेंगी? कड़वी बात यह है कि all these jobs are available, but all how you will get them, how to get, it is bitter truth is that all to get even an ordinary job among these exciting career avenue is a challenging, life-consuming task. A person does MSc, PhD, then he is a jobless, and ultimately he joins a job which he doesn't like, but he has to. Because, again, I have said in a botany the same thing, that everybody says कि merit होना चाहिए, लेकिन merit है क्या चीज़? हमने merit को define नहीं किया. We never thought what kind of merit. Does it mean academic merit? Does it mean a family merit? Does it mean relational merit? रिश्तेदारी चाहिए. Social cultural merit है, political merit है, bribery है, रिश्वत दे के करें या कोई और merit है. आप सोचें आप कौन सी merit में कहाँ पे खड़े हैं? Whether are you a strong contender? Which type of merit is the strongest? Academic merit to me it looks is at the bottom. Think of that. Thank you very much, my dear.